So if you're a working artist, the fact is you need to be prepared for a studio visit. Whether it's a collector, a dealer, a gallery owner, a curator, or a friend or family, I really want you guys to be prepared. If someone finds your work interesting or intriguing enough to set aside time and come to your studio to learn more about you and your work and spend time literally observing your thoughts, then meet them where they are and allow for it to be a good experience. We're gonna talk about what I think it takes to be prepared for a studio visit, which is presence, vibe, education, and exclusivity. Hey, I'm Mariah Elise, this is Frame, and if you guys haven't caught on yet, today we're going to be talking about studio visits. And the fact is, from all angles, one really great studio visit can change the trajectory of your career. It's vital into getting your work into exhibitions, into galleries, museums, and into the hands of collectors. You want to build relationships with these collectors, these dealers, and everyone else in the art world that finds interest in your work that you don't mind inviting into your studio. But before I get too deep into this topic, if you're into these videos, you've been watching them, and so far you're like, I like this girl, I like her perspective, I like these videos, vibe with me and subscribe with me. I talk about analyzing the art market, analyzing different artists, art culture, and getting into art business on all sectors and from so many different angles. I'm analyzing specific artists and their markets, but I'm also getting to the culture and explaining certain sectors of the art world when it comes to art business. So when we're talking about preparing our studio, the very first thing I challenge you to do as an artist is to truly take a hard look at your studio and ask yourself, is it and are you ready for a top collector or a top gallery or a top museum curator to come into your studio? Are you ready? Are you ready for them to come into your space in the best possible sense of who you are as a person and as an artist? I believe in order to achieve that, you need to master a few things. The very first thing is presence. It's so important that an artist studio completely feels like them. From the books that are on the shelves, to the music playing, to how it smells, to the layout, everything about your studio, whether directly or indirectly, adds to the thoughts someone has about you as a person and as an artist. I would urge you guys, if you're lost, to pull from other artist studios and pull from that inspiration and add that to who you are. Don't steal from the other artist studios, but allow that to inspire you to build your studio to where you want it to be, especially when you're trying to figure it out. But most importantly, first and foremost, make the studio feel like you. How should we feel when we walk into your studio? How do you want me to feel when I walk into your studio? When I walk into your space? That's the biggest question, and you can't force it. You have to allow your studio to naturally take on your presence and your energy. Make sure that your studio is organized. Organization is important. You don't want someone to walk into your studio and there's things all over the place and it just looks a mess and they're having to crawl over things to get to one other side of the studio. Make sure your presence is solid. The next thing that I think is extremely important is comfort of your guests. You want to prepare for the comfort of your guests. Keep refreshments for anyone that walks into your studio, whether it's water, wine, beer, or whiskey. Whatever it takes, allow a space for comfort and hospitality. But try to be casual about it. Maintain the posture you always carry, remain yourself, keep it professional, but honestly, pour yourself a glass of wine if that's what you would typically do, because they're coming into your space to know who you are. Don't fake the funk. Now, I'm not telling you guys to do drugs or whatever in front of these clients or in front of these people, but what I am telling you to do is keep a high sense of who you are while maintaining professional boundaries, because it's one of the reasons they're drawn to you in the first place. Now, every now and again, you're going to find yourself having one too many with a gallerist or a dealer or a collector, but gauge the vibe, okay? Remember, all in all, you're building a relationship. Studio visits are more about relationships than creating a transactional environment. It's always more about building the relationship than trying to get someone to come in your studio and on spot buy something. Build the relationship with whoever comes into your studio. That's what studio visits are truly all about. Now let's talk about conversation. This is the beginning of them feeling a part of you. And I want you to continue with that comfort in a conversation. Allow a space for dialogue and questions. Lead them into leading questions. Show them your work. Share perspectives with them. Talk with them, not at them. Tell them the content behind your work and allow that to lead into a web of topics. Be able to truly and 100% speak about your work. There's no excuse for not being able to speak to your work with confidence and truth. I know that there are pieces that you may not have fully processed yet. You may still be in the search for direction. Tell them that. Let them know. Give them room for transparency. Allow them to see your process. Allow them to see your ability to grow. Make sure you always have something out that you're working on. Studio visits are so intimate that you have to let them in. You have to have a conversation with them. You have to allow that conversation to go exactly where it should go. And in this conversation, don't ever forget that they're there to be educated. When you speak about your work, reference your influences. Go deep into the aesthetics and the content of your work. Speak about your personal life influences in your work. Give them solid information and education. Allow them to see beyond what the work looks like. Because the first decision they've already made is, I like the work. And now they're seeking education. They're seeking knowledge about you and about the content. And they want to see if the content translates through the aesthetics. While you're speaking about your work and you're giving them a tour and you guys are in the midst of a conversation, don't forget to show them something that no one has ever seen. These gallerists and these dealers, when they come into your studio, I can 100% guarantee you they want exclusivity. I want it when I go into a studio. It's one of the most important parts of your studio visits, showing them something that you've never shown publicly. Whether that's Instagram, whether it's at an exhibition, that's the nail in the coffin. It allows them to have an exclusive look into works that the public has never seen, and that allows them to feel special. Now, if you do this all over a glass of wine or two, that leads for the experience to be even more enjoyable. So guys, just to recap, the important things that you want to cover when someone comes into your studio is presence. Make sure it looks good, make sure it feels good. Comfort. Make sure that you're giving them something or you're offering them something that makes them feel at home and makes them feel comfortable. You never want anyone in your studio having a sense of uncomfort. Make sure you're having a great conversation with this person. And that's a part of comfort. Having a solid, fluid conversation is a part of comfort. Allow it to continue to go and flow and educate them. Always educate them. Always give them knowledge. Always leave them with more than what they came with. They know what your work looks like. They've seen it in exhibitions. They've seen it on your website, on your Instagram. They came to your studio to know who you are, to know more about your work, not to know more about what your work looks like. They know what your work looks like. And remember to give them exclusivity. Not only did you just have a great conversation over a glass of wine and they feel comfortable, they came in and they seen something that no one was able to see. That means a lot. Now they feel like they're a part of your tribe, not like they're just a fan of your work and they're out on the streets and they just like and enjoy your work. Now they're a part of your tribe. You've shared something with them that you haven't shared with that many people. Focus on those points. It's gonna lead to an enjoyable experience, I promise. Now, before I get going, guys, I want to let you guys know what my next video is about. It's going to be super different. It's not going to be the same as all of my other videos. I've been super educational and super informational, but my next video, I'm going to have a little bit of fun. My partner got me the Takashi Murakami 727 jigsaw puzzle, which is 1,040 pieces. And over the next week, let me show it to you guys. Over the next week, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish it over the next week because I'm really bad at doing stuff like this. But send your thoughts, send your prayers, send all of that to me. Send your good light and your good energy towards me because I'm really bad at doing puzzles. But I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna film it for you guys and that's gonna be my next video. So I hope you guys are excited about that. I didn't even really want to open it, to be honest, because it's a collector's piece and I keep checking online and it keeps going up in value. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Also, if you guys didn't know, I'm the founder of Alise Art Group. This is my second baby. Some of you guys know that I founded and I directed an art gallery for nearly 3 years. But this is my new venture. It's my second baby. It's Elise Art Group. And if you guys want to subscribe to our newsletter, go ahead to eliseartgroup.com and subscribe. If you want to follow us on Instagram, our Instagram is @Alise Art Group, @Alise Art Group. And guys, that is it for me. That's it for today. I hope you guys found some value in how to handle your studio visits. Even if you're a collector watching this, it's valuable information on what to look for when you go into a studio, how these artists treat you, what their presentation looks like. Pay attention to all of that. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a really good week. I hope it's solid. I'm wishing you guys love and light. Peace.